Yeah, that's why like the show and all the other stuff, it's been on hold because all my stuff's sitting in storage right now.
Hey, I know that life.
Oof, boy, I can't stand it because I was like, I don't want to move in to his spot, but I'm kind of moved in. I'm like, I'm got my computer and my beat machine and stuff all over. I'm like, God dang, man.
And on that note, people, we're live. All right, welcome to the Wingin It podcast, episode 78, and we are talking the fallout of the Nintendo Direct and how many people really are pissed off about this, and how many people are port begging. Let the port begging begin.
Of course.
And Hideki Kamiya, God bless him, man. He better than me. So,
Hey,
Jack,
he's
how
real
you
nice
doing,
about
man?
it.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just glad to be able to talk about games, man. With all the stuff I got going on, I'm glad to be talking about something I care about.
Cool. Sandstorm.
I'm doing great. Yeah, I feel like I'm back for the first time. It's been like what, 2 hours? It's roughly
Yeah,
2
2 hours.
hours.
Yeah. All right. So, got a couple things I want to talk about before we go to the direct. And I guess we'll start this off with and I read this over on purexbox.com, and it's the Perfect Dark Studio, the initiative, is now working with Crystal Dynamics on Perfect Dark. Come to find out, they've rebooted it per certain sources. So this is not a situation. Apparently, they didn't like what they saw. I'm guessing what they had, and so they brought in Crystal Dynamics to help out. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
That's not my issue. My issue is, so apparently it's come to the forefront that game, when they showed it, they had barely started working on it. I'm kind of getting tired of this.
I'm about to say, didn't we kind of assume that for the most part?
Well, no, because remember the initiative was one of those first studios they bought. So
right.
I assumed that they had that's what they did, and they had already started working on it. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why are we still getting? Again, I'm talking about across the board. Whoever is doing this, stop putting out trailers for games that have not even started, that you barely got assets for. This is getting ridiculous.
To me, I share your same frustration. It's just a matter of the accessibility and the information and people having so much, I guess you could say, freedom to speak their minds, and the suits and everything else wants to look into it. Yeah. And I think that's where the issue comes in, because if you look at it from all three, you can see at least one game from all three. When you come down to Xbox told us what was happening. From jump, they said, hey, you may not see anything until 2022, 2023, right? But then Initiative, like you said, it was the first company they bought. We hadn't heard anything from the Initiative. It's supposed to be this big quadruple
they're not
A
supposed,
team.
They're not supposed to be small.
Exactly. So they're supposed to be working on something humongous. But then when you constantly hear feedback of what's the Initiative doing, where are they along all these studios, then you feel obligated to throw something out there. It was the same thing with Metroid. Had to throw something out there. Sony, same thing. Like, they always feel like they're obligated to do something, when in turn, I feel like if you just ignore the crowd and just put it out when it's time for you to put it out, then you'll be better off. Because honestly, you're going to always have a lot of talking. It's just a matter of just show it when you're ready. But unfortunately, it don't rock like that.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, I gotta read you to go see that after a little bit. But yeah, my whole thing about that is the vocal minority is going to be the vocal minority regardless. They're gonna, but it's not everybody. And look, this is not the mid to late 90s where we got 2 games a quarter. We get like 20 plus games a month. Yeah. And sometimes even more when you sit up and think about it, with all the stealth releases and all of that. I mean, hell, did anybody even know about ActRaiser?
No, not at all.
No.
Like, we get so many games, it's ridiculous. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, there's no point in doing that. Like, I was one of the people, I love the Metroid franchise. I hate it when they put Metroid Prime 4, when they show that little Adobe Photoshop graphic and put the damn thing behind it. Because I'm like, look, man, I know this game ain't coming out no time soon. Why are you doing this?
Right.
But you know what I did like? I liked what they did with Metroid Dread.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They put the first trailer out the same year the game comes out.
Right.
Who's mad about that?
Oh,
Nobody.
Like I said,
And
nobody's mad about it at
I
all.
wonder if because I've been saying the same thing for a while. Hi Vicky. I've been wondering the same thing for a while, and then it kind of makes me wonder if that is more so they get the journalists, you know what I mean? Get the hype and stuff like that, because I guess in this world any kind of press is good press, as long as you're getting something. And there's I won't say a minority, there's been majority of us clamoring for some Prime 4, you know what I mean, for what is this, 4 years now? We on four years?
Yeah.
Five, almost five. So and that's the same thing we've been talking about. Where's Prime 4? Where's Prime 4? And I want to say that's to keep Nintendo's name in your mouth. You know what I mean? But again, like for us actual gamers, like what does that really do for us? You know what I'm saying? Like
it doesn't do anything.
No. And like it's good to know that like us, at least at the very minimum, us who are like the hardcore like fans of any series and stuff like that, like while we may not get that thing that they showed us like right then and there or even a couple years, like they've been secretly working on something that they know that we're still gonna like. So, and that's why I agree with you in Dread. Like Dread was the perfect drop. Like, hey, we know y'all been clamoring for this Prime 4, but we ain't got Prime 4. But let's this is a little something.
It was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not a little something. That's a big
exactly.
That's a big something. So
exactly.
yeah, it's all over the place with those type of things, man.
I'm just starting to think now it's getting damn near ridiculous because we got what is it? Uclinden Chronicles not even coming out of 2023.
Oh yeah, 2023.
And they dropping trailers. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
War, Spider-Man, Wolverine.
Wolverine. They ain't even started working on that. So you mean to tell me the first thing they did was make a trailer?
Now that's something I don't like. Now, if you're gonna do something like that, if you're gonna give us 4 years down the road, at least like give us like alpha footage. You know what I mean? Like something super basic. Like this is the direction that we're going in, so you at least see what you're gonna have to deal with.
No clue.
And like that's how I felt kind of about the Eternals, but the Eternals were different. We got to see that, or not Eternals, Midnight Suns. Like we got to see that in the same year, but like my thought is like just show me where your direction is going, so I know ahead of time. Like, is this something I really want to invest in? Because by the time you drop that game and you don't match the hype or what I was looking for in the game, like let's just say Prime 4 was like a third person open world, but it was hella bland. Like was not, I won't say open world, like it was pretty much on rails. You going from this start to this finish, Call of Duty style. I would be mad as hell. Like I would be hella mad. You spent 5 years of my hypeness just for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like if you're gonna give us a trailer and you know that, or you have a feeling that maybe this is not around the corner for you, like show me at least where you're going with it. You know,
or at least if you're going to do it this early, start giving me content at a regular scheduled viewing point. So that I can continue the build. Because honestly, whenever they do this, let's say for example Metroid, if the name Metroid wasn't as synonymous as it is with Nintendo and the hype, I would have forgot about it already. Like honestly, because I mean it was so early, you didn't show anything, I would have just forgot about it.
Right.
Because it's been so ahead of the game. But because it's Metroid, because it's Nintendo, you continue to look out for it. But honestly, I wouldn't have paid it any mind, because even you think about something like Deathloop. I would have forgot about Deathloop if Sony didn't show that every damn press conference they had.
Right.
But at least they showed it. They kept showing it over and over again. So I say if you're going to show it that early, have at least a decent release schedule to keep it on my mind. To the point to where I get tired of it. So where it's like,
Right.
okay, when is this coming out? And then when those reviews show up, then it's like, okay, so it's actually a pretty good game, and it's something that I at least want to go pick up. But I'm not picking up something you announced 4 years ago, and then you remind me again, like
The year
maybe
of.
the year of. Like at that
Yes.
point, I'm like, dude, I'm not paying this no attention.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do that, don't tell everybody that you just started. You ain't even started working on it. Like
Right.
Wolverine, with Wolverine, just keep that to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just keep it to yourself that you ain't started working on it. Just keep that to yourself. Because
I just that
like
doesn't
said,
make any sense.
I understand if this was like 98 to 2003, where we weren't getting games like that. We get so many games, you don't have to do that. You don't.
Yeah,
Now, do
there's a
you
new
think this was
distraction
a
every 5
behind
minutes.
Do you think this was like a behind the scenes? Let's get this ahead of something that we know was coming from somebody else.
Well, here's the
situation?
thing. Here's the thing with the Wolverine situation.
Uh-huh.
There was no reason for Sony to even say anything. You got Spider-Man 2 coming.
True.
Right.
But what I'm saying
there's
is
no
like,
reason to say nothing.
because when we were talking about Marvel and talking about,
Yeah.
well, dag, if they got Wolverine, who got what else?
Yeah.
What if there is a something else, let's say from Xbox, that may come a little bit sooner than Wolverine to get your attention? Like, oh, well, I want that, but I'm gonna still stay with Sony because I know I'm getting Wolverine.
Well, here's the thing. You don't know when Wolverine's coming out.
That's true.
Here's the thing. If let's just say for an example, if Xbox gets a Heroes for Hire game, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, if it comes out in 2022, it don't matter that you got Wolverine, because you don't know when Wolverine coming out, and they messed around and said they haven't even started working on it really. So
That's
it
nuts.
don't really matter.
That's
So
nuts.
my thing was, why did you even show that when it was a minute? Because why would you even show that?
Because they
when
know
you
their fan
already
base will stay
have-
around.
But here's the thing: you already have Spider-Man 2 that you're working on. That's probably going to be coming out within the next 2 years. You already got
Right.
Spider-Man 2, so there's no reason to show Wolverine, which you haven't started working on. There's no reason to show that. That's my thing. And I got mad when Nintendo did it with Metroid and
Right.
Bayonetta, because I knew it wasn't coming out no time soon, and I knew they
Right.
were falling for the whole vocal minority
Right.
that
Right.
scream and holler, and I'm like, this game ain't coming out no time soon. And then when they had to do the restart, which I don't understand why they gave it to Bandai Namco to begin with, they should have gave it to Retro off the rip. I don't even understand that. And Retro was I was like, hey, we already got a story, so all we got to do is just
Right.
get the assets and do the game. So I'm like, then you should have just gave it to Retro.
That makes me wonder if, because of all the work they did with Smash, if Bandai was like, "Hey, y'all asking a whole lot of help for this Smash, mate. You know what I'm saying? Just let me
Throw us a
just,
bone.
let me
Well,
just go ahead and get that
When y'all give
Metroid.
us-
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
when y'all give us the next Tales, we'll do that. That's how that negotiation would have went. That's how that negotiation would have went. Y'all give us the next Tales game, and we'll do that. Until then,
Yeah, I can understand that. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's some type of rhyme or reason behind
Yeah.
these early announcements. It has to be, because honestly, there's no reason to put out this far, especially if you haven't even started working on it. Like I understand. Like for me with Sony, I know their crowd. They don't care because they can literally use this as, lack of a better phrase, dick swinging contest for years to come.
Mhm.
yeah.
Because they literally put it on the list. Oh, well, we got Wolverine. You haven't seen it. You don't know when it's coming up, so you can't even put that on your list of games we got.
You don't even know how long they get.
Look,
It might wind up being like Avengers.
Look,
Trust me.
and they are quick to be like, it's gonna look so great.
Yeah.
The graphics are gonna look so great. It's gonna look like nothing we ever seen before. Wait till Wolverine come out and kill everything that Xbox got.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, so they buy into the crowd. So if I'm talking from a marketing standpoint, I show that trailer early because I know that's what keeps my Sony fan base around. At least the fanboy, excuse me. That's what keeps them
Right.
around, because if I tell them what we have coming up, just for them to put it on charts of what we have and what you don't have, yeah, I'm putting that out there.
Mhm.
I think you hit on something with the whole dropping something just in case somebody else doesn't, because I feel like
Right.
they did the same thing with Horizon
Yep.
and Breath of the Wild too. Is like,
Boy,
Ooh,
boy,
that
we-
backfired.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when Sony or Nintendo drops, well, we're not gonna drop this year. We're gonna try and drop it next year. Sony's like, oh well, this next year. This is coming out next year. You know what I'm saying? and we already know what happened with the first one. You can't drop on the same day. It's not.
Oh,
It's
no,
not
that's not
Kanye versus Drake. You know.
Well, hold on.
Ahead of time.
They dropped it a month ahead.
and it's
Oh,
still
that's right, and it's still flop.
Put like that. Be out of a different quarter. You might even need to be in a different fiscal year.
It was like, okay, it's like let's just go biblical with people. It's like when Moses and the staff and the snakes. Got the magicians with they staffs, they can throw it down there, they got a snake. Moses' snake ate their snakes, and then he went on to take that same staff and part the Red Sea. That's what Breath of the Wild was compared to Horizon the last time they matched up.
That's why ain't nobody dropping nothing in January. They know what it is.
They already know what it is.
Like, you're not beating Pokemon.
No, it's not. No.
Something people ask for, an open world Pokemon.
Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
You might well hang that up. Activision ain't stupid enough to drop a Call of Duty game against Pokemon.
Nah. We'll move that to next month.
They learned that the last time they attempted it.
Yeah. Like, why isn't our game moving units?
And you would think because there's differing fan base, so it's like, okay, Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm not looking at these two like that, but hey, look,
that happens.
Everybody love Pokemon, man.
Yeah.
Much as they claim they hate it, everybody loves Pokemon.
Man, ain't no kids playing Pokemon. It's all adults.
Yeah. you go downstairs and open up that door and be like, "What you doing? Nothing."
Right. Right. To me, I think Pokemon is literally that franchise that can exclusively say, "Yes, we are for everyone." Because I think everybody touches Pokemon one way or another. Whether it's your cards, collection-wise, playing the card game, the video games, the anime, the movies. It's all over the place.
There's one way to prove that. Pokemon, what is it? Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All the adults.
Traffic.
All the adults.
That's the first time I ever seen some classic people come out the woodwork.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, what you doing? Hey, I caught this. Hey, you know names now?"
Yes. Never talked about Pokemon in my presence, but yeah, here you are at the doggone park for 2 hours, waiting for an event to pop off. Okay. Gotcha.
Meanwhile, your child just want to go home.
Hey, look, you have to wait.
Right. After this,
we need 15 more minutes. Just chill.
Right. I told you I always wanted to be a trainer when I was little. You're not about to take this from me. They made it real, baby.
That was crazy. So, okay, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we go into the direct. And that's this. What is this love with Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
I have it.
It's always had a lot of love.
I was one of them. I tried to sign everybody on. Hey, come fill out this thing. I don't know why. It's a classic that I just want back.
Yeah, but if they bring it back, it's not gonna play the same.
No, it's not, and it's hella broken.
Yeah, it's hella broken.
But it's not as broken as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
True.
The Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite should not have been made.
No, it shouldn't. But there are things that they could do to improve Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, like add the X-Men and Infinite. They could have
that game. That wouldn't improve Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
No, that wouldn't. Because
they already there.
Would you touch it at all, though?
I got a video plan for that, so I'm not going to say nothing here. I was already playing it.
But because I don't hate Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I don't want it to sound like I hate it. I'm just like, I don't get because I'm like, if they do it now, if they remaster it or something, it's not gonna play the way you think it's gonna play, and they're gonna probably fix everything, which is gonna piss you off.
Yep.
When you go online and realize that 52 card pickup that usually gives you a 90 hit combo ain't gonna work.
Yep.
Because they're going to buff that. They're going to fix that. You're not going to be able to do that.
They're definitely going to put some limitations in.
Yeah. That Drill Claw combo with Wolverine and Ryu is not going to work.
Yeah, that's the move right there. Yeah.
I love it.
So I'm like, I understand the love, but I'm like, I don't think y'all understand. They're not going to do a straight up port. They're going to remaster it and try to smooth everything out, and then they're going to fix stuff that how the Melee crowd said it, the techniques that
the technical
the exploits.
They were glitches.
Glitches and exploits.
Yeah.
Bro,
I just want it for Switch. That's all. Like, I don't really care if it came anywhere else. I just want to take it with me. Like, play the game on the go. Like,
Be like, I want to carry Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with me in my pocket.
in my pocket, and I don't even need online. If you're not gonna get me online, if y'all was like, sorry, this is the watered down version of Switch. No, it's not, because I get to take it with me. It's fine. I will play the computer forevermore. That's
There's
okay.
no
with
way.
me.
There's no way they would release that today and not put it online.
No, it's happening. I know that it's happening.
I think it's like one or two minds with this, because I'm big on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's like one of my favorite fighters. But I think there's the crowd that really are just like, hey, look, nostalgia, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is my favorite. And then I think you have that crowd that's like, I still have not played a fighter that matches what I felt when I played this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it all the time with 2K, because or even No Mercy. We talk about No Mercy all the time.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, Here Comes the Pain was an advanced version of No Mercy with the fighting system.
But No Mercy was just better.
It just felt better. I feel like it was the timing, and you think about the 64 in itself and everything that came along with it. So I mean, it might be just a mixed bag, but I mean, there's plenty of games I'll look at now and I ask for it, because nothing has topped it yet, and it's kind of embarrassing because it's from like 5th or 6th gen, and there's no game that's topped it. But yet there's plenty of games in that genre that's supposed to be the game of the year or the best game out right now, and it hasn't even outdone a game from a couple of generations ago.
Yeah, well, but look though, if Capcom can make and remake again Street Fighter 2, why can't we get another version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Right.
That's true.
Or
That's true.
Darkstalkers, or Project Justice, or
Plasma Sword.
Yeah,
I even go with
Power
Project
Stone.
Red Planet. That needs to come on systems.
Yeah,
Red Planet, Power Stone.
Man, Capcom
and
got
look,
so many.
We're gonna be legitimate here. Power Stones are just Chaos Emeralds, and Capcom
Yeah, I
couldn't
was
use
just gonna say, they're just Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you ain't got nobody going Super Saiyan, you're fine.
Wang Tang.
Yeah.
His name is Wang Tang. He throws a gigantic orange spirit bomb.
He sure does. And the air with too, just like this.
I know.
Well, I tell you, Dragon Ball Z has so much influence within these games. Well, I tell you.
Can I? Okay, so y'all know I'm an anime head, and I'm finished second season of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. There is a character in the second to the last episode that does a Hadouken, Shoryuken, Tatsumaki, and Kamehameha. And he says it.
Yeah, he says it. I remember this.
What?
I remember this.
The influence is strong, man.
I'm like, that's crazy. But yeah,
it'll forever be around. Forever.
Yeah.
Even Dodgeball Academia, the main character.
He has a Hadouken.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
But yeah, I was just wondering about it, because I was just seeing all this, like, we got to get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back. I'm like, y'all can't even get Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to work right now.
Right. You sure want Capcom to do that?
Like I said, I got a video to outline it. I'm already working on the ideas in my head. And there are going to be some changes. There's going to be some changes that I would have to make to it that I know people will hate. But it would make it better for other people to play the game.
Which means we'll probably see it next year then.
Yeah, more than likely.
Right.
Right.
They've been working on it for the past 3 years, though.
They finally got around to listening to me about Knights of the Old Republic and the Switch. So, hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
there you go.
Right.
I need to pick that up because it's in November, right? November 10th?
November 11th. Yeah.
11th,
Okay.
yeah.
Pre-order
yeah,
is
it's
already. Yeah,
That game is so good.
The pre-order is
People
up.
don't understand, man. They don't understand it.
That game is
While
so
we're
good.
on this whole thing too, I've been hearing like mixed bag about ActRaiser, and I know you said you was gonna pick that up, Jay. Is it as bad as people?
I haven't picked it up yet. I'm gonna pick it up next week.
Yeah, because I hear people saying that it run bad and that they didn't do a good
I've
job.
heard a mixed bag. I've heard some people say it runs fine. I've heard some people say I don't know who to believe, because with Sonic, you had a lot of people using emulator and then trying to pretend.
That's gonna be the story from now on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
You don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
for sure.
crazy.
And it could be that people didn't update their switches, because if they don't get the update to the latest firmware, you're probably gonna run into issues anyway.
Because there were three updates that came. It was the firmware, it was the Joy-Con one, and it was another one that came. So you had to update it. So if you don't update it because you got a modded one,
right?
That could be
There's
a
that.
problem.
Yeah,
That
that
could
could be a
then-
problem.
Then you gotta also consider that these are people that don't know how the original ActRaiser played.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't know, so there's probably some quirks left in the game that are supposed to mimic what the original did that they don't understand. So they're thinking, oh well, this means that this is running
Broken
poorly
or
because of
busted.
my inability to time my swings and stuff right,
Yeah,
like with Castlevania.
Yeah. I need to buy that. Yeah, I definitely need to buy that.
Yeah, so while we're on that subject, let's get into it. So
Right.
the direct, we've had 2 days to, mull it over and think about it and everything. And I just want to say right now on the record, number one, if you are port begging for Bayonetta 3, I'm gonna tell you just
You
like
mad?
Kami.
You mad?
I'm
You
gonna tell you,
mad?
I'm gonna tell you like Kami just sent out on Twitter. Just buy a Switch.
You mad?
But why is this still a thing? Like we went through this with 2. Why is this a thing?
Because you mad. That's why.
Because
you mad.
it needs a console that can show its true capabilities.
Right.
Okay,
If the game is built around the console it's on, that don't make a difference.
it don't make a difference. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make a difference if it's
But-
not built around.
but
And on
let's-
top of that, you got
let's
Project Eve.
Yep.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Yo,
though. Let's be.
can-
Go ahead.
Can we just say all that talk y'all was talking 2 weeks ago about how y'all got Project Eve and y'all got what Nintendo wasn't gonna do for us, and now that we got it, now y'all want to scramble for it. Stop it. Stop it.
That's true. But let's be honest about this. If Sony or Microsoft had picked up Bayonetta and it became an exclusive for either one of them, this conversation would not be happening right now.
We know
No, it
that.
wouldn't.
Yeah, we know that.
Nobody would be complaining about it. At least
No.
not as largely as they have been.
And,
So
and
to me, I think it's a nonsense argument. Nintendo paid for it; they get it. Simple as that.
yeah, and I think that's the other thing. And the other thing I'm going to talk about is, okay, so we saw the trailer,
Mhm.
and after seeing the trailer, we all know that it was clearly not full on. Hey, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
It's
How
not.
y'all doing?
We're doing good. It's not. Oh, it's
Why
it's
she
not,
come in at the ironically right time?
Yeah, it's not the trailer before it releases. It's clearly an alpha trailer.
That was definitely alpha footage. It's the same thing they did with freaking Pokemon.
It's
Yep.
the same thing they did with Bayonetta 2. If y'all
Yep.
remember, in Bayonetta 2, you got that in 2012. You got a that little 30-second teaser, which nobody knew anything about. Then in 2014, the first trailer looked like hot garbage.
Yep.
The one right before E3. Then
Yep.
the one they did, because remember they gave them their own 30-minute direct.
Yep.
When they gave
They
their own
looked
30-minute
way better.
direct, how did that trailer look? How did that game look?
Mhm.
We got
Look,
people
look.
saying that game ain't coming out for 2 more years. Dude, that game's coming out in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming out. It was just a
Again-
matter of timing.
Yeah.
Again, let's just look back to recently this year for Pokemon Legends. Everybody said the game looks like it's running poorly. It looks horrible. Then you see the follow-up trailer to that afterwards. That footage that they had was old footage. If you looked at it, you could tell it was old footage.
Yeah.
And they showed it. And then they came with updated footage and everybody's minds were blown. I'm like, did y'all not see this happen with Super Mario 3D World? Did y'all not see this happen with the original
Odyssey.
Hyrule Warriors? Did you not see this happen with Odyssey? Did you not see this happen with Bayonetta 2? It constantly happens with Nintendo. You see the
Yeah.
crappiest footage, and then you see the updated footage after that.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. I think that's what that's pretty ingenious when you think about it. Let me show
Yeah.
you this crappy footage, let you talk down about
Let's
it, and then
see-
we do this.
Let's
Improve
show
what we've
you the
already
crap-
done.
I'm like,
Look how
this, let
much
me show
work
you
we
the
put
crappy-
into it.
Yeah, let me show you the crappy footage first. See if you like that, and
Right.
then
Full House
show you
tonight.
the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Shadow.
I think the only one
What's up, y'all?
that didn't look bad was Astral Chain. That's the only, and that's because we
That,
ain't know
that's
nothing
the
about
art
it.
style.
Right.
I think
That was
that's
right
the
around the
art style.
corner, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause they showed that at E3, and then it showed at E3, and then after that, it came right up. It was like
Right.
what?
Yep.
2 months later, and it was out. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think
then, when they announced it so smooth too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is that Nintendo got all the baddest women. That's just how it is.
Okay. One point I want to make here, because I feel like I'm the only one that says it. Why nobody talking about how Cereza caught Twin Tails hairstyle?
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
People were talking about it yesterday. Some people were talking about it yesterday because that is Twin Tails hairstyle. That is her.
I'm like, where's the fan art? Why don't we see them sipping tea together now? Because that's what people were doing when she got in the Smash.
It's coming.
You just got to get the horniest crowd to draw it out first.
Yeah. Expect Twin Tail to be in there somewhere, probably doing her hair at the beginning.
You're gonna see,
girl, you look good.
You're gonna see some art of Bayonetta, Twin Tail, Samus, and Bowsette. That's what you're gonna do. And it's gonna mess your head up because you asked for it.
I ain't asked for that third part. You added that one.
But you know that's what they're gonna do. That's how this always works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
or it's gonna be Bayonetta, Twin Tail, and Samus.
Yeah, with Samus with a picture of Lil Mac.
Lil Mac.
That joke never gonna get old. That meme is never gonna get old.
Rule 34.
Okay, so since we got
let's move to 35.
Since we got Vicky here, we got to talk about her favorite game from the direct, Room Factory 5.
Listen, I am so excited for this. I am going to bag as many as possible. I'm taking them all down, and I'm divorcing them and leaving them for the
This is where the Kevin Hart whorehouse meme fits in perfectly.
So you just gonna marry random people and then just divorce them?
Hey.
Yep. Get rid of them. Go to the next one. And then I'll find my forever love on like the 8th one or something.
So at this point, from what I'm gathering, Room Factory and a couple of these other games have pretty much knocked Harvest Moon out the picture.
I mean, they
yes
stopped making
no.
Harvest Moon the way they're supposed to. So
I'll say yes and no.
Because I mean, Harvest Moon used to be the biggest thing, and then you start seeing, the people that kind of did it in a way of like paying homage, and next thing you know, Room Factory popped off out of nowhere, and then so now you got Vicky out here ruining and breaking up relationships. And, not even talking about harvesting crops or nothing. Just
like I do want to. I mean, we saw like the harvesting crops for a second in there. We didn't really see like the house build, like how you can like set up your house and stuff and expand on that part. So like I look forward to seeing that as well. And as long as I can fish, I'm happy. So
which they did show that in the extended trailer. They showed that. So just remember, when the game drops, just go to Twitch. She's gonna be breaking hearts on Twitch live.
So with Room Factory, what's the main draw with Room Factory?
Well, because you get all the battles, you get to go into these different dungeons and everything like that, and at the same time, you can still do your harvesting of crops. And you go out into the world, and you're like, oh, look, a sheep, and you bring the sheep back with you. You bring a chicken back with you, and you kind of you're getting the fun of harvesting crops that you get from like Farmville. You get to go fishing. You get to actually talk to the townspeople, get to know the townspeople, and marry one of them, and then you still get all the fighting in there, action RPG. So it's a lot packed into a game, and because of that, you can keep playing it because you have all these different things you need to do. And you have to still take the townspeople, become friends with them enough for them to go on adventures with you, because after a certain point, you are not going to be strong enough to fight some of the bosses, and you need to have a group. I didn't realize that when I was playing Room Factory 4, and I got body slammed. I was like, I was like, wait, I can take them with me? I totally missed that part. So I had to
okay. I got the perfect description
to get them to be part of my party. And then each one, you can get them different weapons, upgrade their weapons, upgrade their magic, upgrade all of that stuff, and then go back out into the world and fight.
So I got the perfect description for Room Factory then, just from what she said. It is is basically being the protagonist in a shonen anime with the power of friendship by your side.
Yes.
Essentially.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And some
'Cause there was
farming
another
intermittent
game.
in that.
There's another farming game like that, isn't it? Like, because I remember there was like an overhead kind of like 2D farming simulator that came out a while back on the Switch. I forgot what it was, but it sounded like
Are you
it's similar to
talking
that.
about,
So you had,
It's because it's a lot like Harvest Moon. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about because it's on PC and everything else too.
yeah.
Oh,
Because you had to fight someone in that too. Because you had
Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Stardew Valley. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't play that. So,
I was like, that didn't look fun. I'll wait for Rune Factory 5. I have no
Okay.
problem with it.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the extended trailer, the extended trailer does look fire. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the problem with 2022 as it stands with me: 3D Kirby.
Oh yeah.
3D
That's
Kirby.
where so
man.
many people's money going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Shadow.
I'll take that.
Shadow.
I know Shadow.
I love and hate the Switch at the same time. Yeah, like because I'm slowly seeing myself owning more physical Switch games than I have GameCube games, and GameCube was by and far my favorite console from Nintendo. So I am slowly, like, not even trying. I just look and I'm just like, whoa. Those cases are smaller than I thought they were, and there's a lot of them, and they're filling up this. And I'm not even trying to collect games like some of these people, so I see how their collections get so big because I'm well over 40 right now, and I wasn't even trying. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. I'm seeing people with 100 game collections, 200 game collections, and I'm like, that's just insane. And I'm like,
It's not hard.
It's not hard at all.
Oh.
These they keep coming out, man. It's so many.
Everybody dropping them.
And then they drop a direct, and you're like, I need that. I need that. I need
And
that.
That's the one thing I like about the Switch, because I can look at a game and know nothing about it, but they make it look interesting enough for me to say, you know what, I'll go pick it up.
Yep. And you'll try it, and then games are going on sale too, and then you're stupid if you don't buy them.
Yeah.
And they hit you with that raw demo starts today.
Or
so bad.
Or at the end of the direct, you'll be able to download it.
Yeah, that'll drop it. Just bam, you can have it today if you want.
I'll look up and I'm like, you know what? I was gonna wait on this game. I was gonna do this. I was gonna do that or whatever. Then I look and I'm like, Best Buy is like, it's $25 today only, and I'm like, okay, this hurts. This hurts, and I gotta do it. So,
well, if you don't, it's gonna be another one of them. Because I don't know how many people are mad about this, but that Xenoblade Chronicles Tournament, the Golden Country.
That's me. That's me. Still can't find a copy.
And if,
like
you do find, and if you do find a copy, it's $200.
I remember seeing that used in GameStop, and they're like, nah, I haven't finished the first part.
Target was trying to give them away.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were trying to give them away at one point, and I think I saw it as low as $20 at one point, and I was like, I should just go ahead and I did it.
Should have got like 3 copies.
Yeah, I should have.
Because you don't think about stuff like that.
No.
It's just,
You
especially
think
if
it's
it's not told to you.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want that problem to happen no more. So yeah, there's that. Now there was before we talk about the other elephant in the room, I do want to talk about the what was that? Oh yeah, Splatoon 3.
Hey,
Oh
that's
yeah,
my game right there, man.
The return of the mammalians.
Yes, that is my game.
So I'm probably gonna be all about this that single player campaign when it drops. Because I need to know why the only 2 mammals are 2 cats.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question.
I never really thought about that before. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like they're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
like
they are
cats
so
in the
out of
midst of all of
place.
this. Yeah, super out of place. They don't match with anything.
but ironically, so they match well enough for you not to be like, "Are y'all the only 2 ones around here?"
Right.
Because you probably see them and just assume, okay, there's other wildlife around
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah,
I didn't even dig that deep into it. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, we have 2 cats that announce who wins and loses, and then they sit in front of the stadium. I'm like,
Right.
okay, whatever. Like I didn't even think about it.
Because you thought it was another one of them Miyamoto
Right.
I think you just
Yeah.
throw in something.
It's something that like Nintendo, you don't try to dig too deep because you'll find yourself confused and just lonely. It's just, I don't think I know that.
Welcome
But
to Legend of
they
Zelda
have-
lore.
They have deep cuts and deep lore. Like
Yes.
So
Detective Club games out here writing deep cuts. Like you just that's a Famicom game. Like they're like, yeah, but we wrote a whole script. And I'm like, well, that's a whole nother.
that's a whole nother
Thing.
animal.
There's probably an entire different dimension that takes place just from Mach Rider. Like it's Nintendo just got all kind of stuff going on.
But can we also point out how dude did the pose as the number?
Yo, that was dope.
But
Mhm.
he
Like he did for
always
2.
goes heavy. He always goes heavy. Like even when they were announcing 2, he was in it. Like talking about the laboratory findings, like they're invested in this game.
He was full in.
I mean, I just need another sister to come out so we can go and do that fusion from Dragon Ball. You just go and do it.
That's what happens when you get 8. When we get Splatoon 8, that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
That gives me very positive vibes as far as Nintendo staying Nintendo, because one of the things that happens is once you have like new I won't say hostile takeover, once you have new management or what have you, and in this case it's new talent, because eventually Miyamoto and all the original teams, they got to retire, they got to go.
Like, Miyamoto almost 70 years old, man.
We can't have you dying in the middle of making a game, man. You got to go home, retire, see what your kids or whatever.
Enjoy your family.
They bring these new teams in, and the philosophy is still the same. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as it was from the 70s till now. So it's like, okay, they want to make games first. They want to make people smile. They want to make sure the game is fun first, kind of situation, and then they handle everything else last. So that is amazing to see that they have the young guys coming through and not trying to be overly serious about everything, and they're making sure that the core of their game is advertised in the with the silliest way possible or the most fun way possible. And that to me, that's the heart of what it's all about. And they seem to have stuck their guns to that, and I like that. Yeah, that's really good. That means Nintendo is going to be Nintendo for my grandkids. Like, so that's a good thing. I like seeing that. That was real positive to me.
As long as they're around. So I'll be remiss if I didn't bring this up, but we got the cast listing for the Mario movie.
Why was some people so upset about that?
I like it. I think it's amazing.
I don't know why people are mad about the Chris Pratt thing. I think it's because of his personal and political view. That ain't got nothing to do with this character.
Yeah, ain't got nothing to do with the movie.
But
I didn't think Sonic was going to work out. I didn't think the voice. I was like, and it worked.
It worked. So, plus Jim Carrey is always Jim Carrey. But they got Jack Black as Bowser. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm so interested in that situation.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and they got Charlie Day's Luigi, which I can't unsee.
Can't unthink it.
I mean,
don't feel right.
Got his cracking voice with the scary version of Luigi. It get mad.
That's gonna work.
What are they gonna do with Charles Martinet though? Because he's probably just gonna be Wario.
I think he's gonna be Wario.
Yeah, because they won't say who he is, but they're saying he's in it. So I'm like, he's got to be
Wario. What if he's just actually in it?
He's literally all of them though. So like he could be any. He could be anything.
Yeah.
Or he may even be doing their action voices.
Now
I know that I'm personally on the fence about Chris Pratt, but I suggested earlier today to Jay that we should just have Regina King do Mario.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That would be the most hilarious, off-putting voice to be that character.
We got Detective Pikachu, so who knows what might stick at this point? So,
she can do it. She can pull it off.
Yeah, she can pull it off. Yeah. I mean, she can. Now, one thing though, are we gonna get since they got Keegan Michael Key doing Toad, we're gonna get Luther Anger translator Toad?
At this point, I'm just trying to figure out how we fit Cree Summer in there. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, she got to voice somebody, or maybe Daisy or something. I don't know. We'll figure out a way to get her in there too.
But that's the interesting part, like who they announced, because it was like these are the characters we're going to announce. So I'm like, are we going to get secret characters y'all just not telling us about? You're telling us about these characters because they're like the main cast, I guess, if you will. So I'm curious to see who else is in it, because seeing Donkey Kong be included in this gave me an idea that they're going to go back. They're going to go back to like old school Mario and Donkey Kong, and then bring it up to today's standards.
Yo,
I mean,
Seth Rogen.
Go ahead.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is like the
that's
most
weird.
spot on. Just the fact that his laughter, like that's a perfect Donkey Kong right there.
I think the best representation or the way to link everything together. I think what started getting these animated movies to be so good as far as the source material, kind of started with Wreck-It Ralph.
I was about to say,
and the way that they started including stuff, and so that was the formula, and then the Sonic team was like, oh, okay, well now that we finally fixed the look, since everybody complained about the look, right? Let's make sure it has the same formula as that. We're gonna have some type of quote unquote adventure, and then there's some type of lesson towards the end, and then there'll be a whole bunch of stuff for a whole bunch of fan fiction for all the fans of the series or whatever, so they can see little takes here and there, little nods here and there. Sonic is full of them. There's so many little jewels in there that you see like, oh, that's this, and and this piece of this song is from everything is in there for that. And I think once that started, now the formula is there. I don't think Nintendo could really screw this up.
Well, I think the other thing too is you got a lot of movies where they just started saying, "Hey, why don't we just respect the source material and see if that works?" And then when they started doing that, guess what? Those movies make money when you respect the source material.
We just been saying this for the longest time. Yeah. Now if they just go back to the drawing board with Resident Evil, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
And, Resident Evil alone.
And Mortal Kombat.
To be fair, they're good in their own right, I guess. Some of them. But if they started, just imagine if they started from the beginning treating it like Resident Evil.
It would have been way better.
It would have been awesome.
Well, Ray
treat it like they do their 3D movies.
Oh, I gotta Ray. I will say this. I will give Illumination. Illumination does the first movie is usually off the chain. It's the sequels that they mess up on.
They always mess up on the sequels.
They always mess up on the sequels. The first
they get extra on the sequels.
But then again, no, I'll take that back. Despicable Me 2 wasn't bad. Now 3 was kind of
I give you that. But usually their sequels are like it's not as good as the first one. It's never as good as the first one. But their first movies,
that's kind of hard because you're trying to recreate the mood of the first movie, but you have so much extra, like you got all these models and stuff that you can reuse or whatever, and you're like, well, we need this and this, and we built this and never put it in the first movie, so let's, I get the kind of how you can get pigeonholed in that scenario, right? But you can't go wrong with these because you wanna make money and viewers are picky. So,
well, I mean the materials
not
there.
Let that happen.
Yeah, I'm about to say because you look at the materials there, because even when you think about Sonic, right, off the top of your head, you think Sonic 2 because you think, okay, Tails is going to be there. I'm not expecting to see Knuckles, but something tells me Knuckles is going to be there.
Yeah,
but
Knuckles is going to be there. Yeah,
you're thinking of 2 because that was like as a kid, that was the same thing I was thinking with Mortal Kombat. So when I saw the very first Mortal Kombat movie when Annihilation came out, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be the Mortal Kombat 2 cast. But then I started seeing Nightwolf. I was like, hold on, he's in 3. Like, I was in here already. But then I had to take myself out of the gaming mode and understand that they have to make this into a story. They have to make this interesting, and that's just what they have to do.
What did they drop the ball of Annihilation?
I was going to say another set of movies that did somewhat decently with the source material was the Silent Hill stuff, even though they did finagle a few things in ways they shouldn't have. But for the most part, they kind of did decent.
I don't remember seeing the second.
The second one, I didn't like the second one.
It wasn't all that good.
No.
The first one was pretty much on point.
The first one was,
even though
that was me and my wife's first date, believe it or not.
Wait a minute. You took it to see
Silent Hill? Took it to see Silent Hill. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was great. It was
I'm gonna get you scared, and then we're gonna snuggle up real close.
He knew what we were getting into day one. So.
But it was not better than Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright still hand down the best one.
Look, I gotta give you. Vicky got me onto that one, like right when it first came out, and I'm like, okay, so I went and watched it. Takashi Miike is crazy.
I ducked and dodged that like the plague.
But it was like, so good.
Yeah, I ducked and dodged it because I don't like stuff like that. When you If you tell me that my favorite video game or anime is getting a live action anything, I'm like, nope.
But
I did the same thing with Lion King. I did the same thing with like pretty much all the Disney stuff. I
wouldn't touch that. But the Japanese, for some
Aladdin's
reason,
good though.
When Japan does it, they do it right.
Well, that's because Japan
was way better than what they did on Netflix. I don't know why they did. They should have just put the live action one from Japan on Netflix. I don't know why they
voiceovers.
Yeah.
Everybody here saw Detective Pikachu, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I mean, Deadpool is Pikachu, so he can use it in Deadpool 3.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah,
most definitely he gonna mention something that alludes to.
He has to.
All these movies Ryan Reynolds have done in the last like 2 years is going into Deadpool 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The only one I don't care for is Green Lantern, but he made a mention of that in the second one, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Hal Jordan dies. It's just
he shot himself. He shot himself for reading the script.
Yeah.
Like what the heck? So
Ryan Reynolds has his own pocket universe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is his own universe. Look, and I want to point something out that I noticed. He plays a lot of characters with the name Guy. Like he played that character in Crudds, and then the Free Guy. Then there was another movie he was named Guy. I'm like, what is this leading to? Is Guy some sort of universal power that we got to look for?
Ryan Reynolds is his own character.
You just predicted it. He'll be in Final Fight.
Yeah.
Final Fight, the movie is gonna be him.
Yep.
Can you imagine Ryan Reynolds in a Final Fight movie?
I can.
I could, but I could as Cody. Legitimately, I could.
He would be a Cody, but
it'd be a comedy though.
Make him Guy anyway. Yeah. Make him squirm and do something stupid.
No. Because if you make him Cody, you can make Jet Li or somebody like him be Guy
and be serious. Yeah,
you could. And he could play right off of it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's just go and talk about it. N64 and Sega Genesis. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this, and I know it's probably not a popular opinion, but you know what? You ain't gotta upgrade if you don't want to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
That's the problem.
I'm doing it because they're gonna give me an N64 controller,
okay,
and they're giving me Ocarina of Time.
See,
so you don't have to buy it separately now?
Huh?
You don't have to buy it separately now. You get a controller
upgrade.
if you upgrade.
No, they're not doing that. You got to buy it separately. But I'm doing that because, like I said, I want a wireless one, and they gonna have it wireless or wired. Right. And two, Ocarina of Time. Y'all know I was gonna do this.
That's the only way to play.
Yeah. Y'all know I was gonna do this. Plus, I get Star Fox 64.
And you got the online aspect of it as
well.
Yo,
that's the biggest one.
I don't care about all that.
Because for me, like I've gone on record to say that generation, I don't really care for because it just doesn't hold up well, as far as from a graphical standpoint or even a frame rate standpoint from time to time. But nonetheless, I mean, honestly, even though I can say I can hold out for it for a while, the moment they announce Mystical Ninja, I'm upgrading.
Yeah.
All in.
And you know what's
Mystical Ninja. Oh my God. Goma.
Sega, they put Shinobi 3 on there, and
listen, they had Golden Axe. They had me Golden Axe.
That's why I said that on my podcast. I said, the moment that Vicky finds out that Golden Axe is on here, it's over. It's over with.
Now I'm curious though. I can't wait to see those comparisons because they're both $50. But I know Retrobit is releasing a 6-button Genesis controller that's in the former Genesis. So I'm curious to see what one feels like over the other. Because otherwise you're going to have to import because we're getting the 3-button one.
Yeah. It's just amazing that Nintendo is making a Sega controller.
Yeah. Like, Nintendo did what Sega couldn't do.
They did it before.
Just think about that. Just think about that and think about how 20 years ago you would have been called crazy.
Man,
listen, I was the Sega person in the house.
Really?
So all the Sega games, like my parents would buy me all the Sega systems. Right. And my brother was a Nintendo person in the house. So my parents would buy him all the Nintendo systems. So Nintendos were in his room, the Segas were in my room. And, we would come into each other's room to play different games and stuff. But, I mean, it also stopped us from killing each other because we both had our own things. But like that was the battle. Like Sega is better than Nintendo. You know?
See, that's where I was never like that. I was like, okay, they both out there. There's stuff on both of them. I'm gonna play both of them. That's
exactly.
Let them drop
you ain't gonna
Vector
stop
Man.
me from playing Eternal Champions and
Or
Toe Jam and Earl and
Toe Jam and Earl. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
So
It's just that whole for both of those consoles, because like I had a Genesis, but and I had a 64, I guess, but just all those games, and during that time, like online wasn't really a thing. That wasn't something that we were really talking
you had to have
about.
X-Band to
And
do
just
online.
all of those, just to be able to, like, you go outside, you talk to your people. Come to my house. I swear on everything. I'm dropping a banana peel on you. You're not about to beat me in Mario Kart.
Right.
That's the thing now. Like you could just, it's online now. So all of those games,
you couldn't blame it on lag. We right here. I'm right next to you.
Here.
Serial connection, yo. Like,
Yep.
That's you sucking. Like it's not even.
No,
and I don't want to hear no excuses. If you got to bring your own controller over, you do that.
Because if you don't
bring your 64 controller for you.
Because if you don't bring your own controller, you getting this mad cat.
You get this mad cat.
I don't want to hear it.
Getting this mad
or the
cat.
N64 controller with the analog stick all messed up. Swirling
it is already
like
leaning to the side like this.
Now
you just got to hold it in the center. You be good. You be good.
I still got one of mine sitting there.
Got the duct tape all over it.
I saw so many duct tape sticks. It was ridiculous. Oh man.
Well, I will say this: I am looking forward to because I want to see because once again, and y'all know how I feel about F-Zero.
Yes.
So F-Zero is gonna be in that first list.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Nintendo, if y'all keep saying y'all want an F-Zero, I'm gonna need to see the plays.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need to see the plays if y'all say y'all want it.
But I mean, let's be honest. They're not playing it. It was the same thing of like, oh well, we don't have Virtual Console. They didn't play it when Nintendo gave us NES and Super Nintendo. It's just I want it there because I want it there.
Right. They'll play it once.
They'll play it one time. Yeah.
They'll play it the one time to find out how hard it is, and then they'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is stupid. It's the controller. That's the problem.
I know you'll play it, Jay.
F-Zero is addictive. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna play it because I just want to crash into everything. That's what I'm doing. Because I've already I've did the stuff to beat it. So now I'm just gonna have fun. I'm not stressing myself out. So
my question too is, with them putting Zelda up here, are we just done with the anniversary?
Probably not.
Alnuma said they weren't doing nothing else, so I guess he wasn't lying.
Yeah,
I guess he wasn't lying.
Nah, he's just joking.
And you get Majora's.
Yeah,
you get Majora's Mask down the road too.
Yeah. There's a whole nother Zelda game coming, so I don't really. That's true. Their focus is going to be on everything else up until that release. So I would imagine.
Because if anything, I would have thought they would port over the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask from the 3DS over to the Switch. That's what I would think it was going to do. But apparently they're not going to do that. So yeah, they still can, and I'll probably buy it again. But I
mean, because you realize we got the mini consoles, and then right behind that, here came the virtual.
Yeah, so I don't know. But like I said, I've seen a lot of people mad about the online situation.
Of course.
You don't have to pay for it if you don't want it.
If you don't want it, you don't have to pay for it. But the problem is most of the people complaining have online. I've seen them online.
Yeah.
I will leave it at that.
The problem is they want it. They just don't want to have to pay for it.
Yeah, they don't want to pay for
it. Here's the thing. If Nintendo does do this again, say they decide they're going to add in GameCube and they get another third-party console, it's going to be up again.
Hold on, weren't these the same people that said they wanted all the virtual console to be a subscription service anyway?
Yeah. Anyway,
it's going they're going to be charged more for it because that's service based.
What's the problem with paying more then?
Because
they wanted this anyway.
Because my Nintendo Online doesn't run smooth.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay for it to begin with because remember we
of the online.
Yeah.
So there's a rumor going around on Twitter, like it's nowhere else because there's nobody else talking about this technically. It's just people on Twitter saying I heard it from somewhere.
Right.
So they're talking about how first of all it was the NES and that's incorrect. Certain SNES games are using rollback netcode, because that's Jay's big
Oh,
joke
God
about rollback
damn it.
netcode, right?
God damn it.
So you know it has to happen. These games have to be rebuilt for this to work, or
Right.
the emulator itself has to have some type of mode in there to be able to translate this.
Mhm.
And rollback netcode, first of all, was something that was designed for certain games to roll back a state, so you could check to make sure that, hey, the inputs are correct or whatever, and then it will auto correct in case there was a delay on somebody else's end.
Right.
What that doesn't account for is usually more than one other player, or other objects on screen that are not a player but CPU or something to that effect. So I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, there could be a Smash Brothers with rollback." I'm like, that's probably not going to happen, and everything is going to be delay based, because you got other games that are on N64, Genesis, and stuff like that are racers that are more than 4 players. You have you got other games that are 3 or more players, like Joe and Mac, and we were just talking about Golden Axe and stuff like that. Nope, trying to get like online to work for something like that. Say like Final Fight, right? Say the arcade version of Final Fight. You want to, like, you can't do that with the GGPO or any other type of rollback, because it's intended for 1v1. And once you start having other stuff in play, like objects reacting to other objects in the background, what happens if you have to calculate everything and their states over and over again in the scene instead of just one player and another player? Now it requires more CPU overhead, and now you're having to delay more and more frames to make sure everything is accurate, and now you have an unplayable game. You might as well be on delay. So when you think about how it's supposed to work, it's not gonna play out in the way that you think it is. So just because you saw it happen in Donkey Kong doesn't mean it's going to work in every other game on every other virtual console type scenario that Nintendo has for online. There is onesies and twosies. For one, they work this online because it's not going to be in every game, and they're going to do whatever works for that individual title one by one. It's not something that's a broad brush across every single game. And I don't know why that's being hammered down, but there's a lot of really bad information on the internet. So don't listen to a lot of those fools.
Course.
And read up on how the quote unquote net code is supposed to work. First thing is, it isn't code. That's the first thing. It's just the implementation of how input goes, and it could be anything. And it could be different for every single game. We're talking thousands of lines of code that interacts with the main code in your game, and depending on what type of game it is, it's built different. It attaches to other parts of code differently, and it's not the same thing. It's not some piece of code that you just snap on top of something. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So, but anyway, I just feel like get that out of the way. Yeah, there's a couple of people on the internets at large, on Reddit as well. So that, of course, they're linking to the same Twitter post, but just stay away from that foolishness and keep it moving. Nintendo's throwing stuff on there. It may or may not have the stuff. Usually it's going to be a 2-player game if they do. And I mean, it doesn't really matter, because most people can't even tell what the differences are between the two. And if you can, it's usually a fighting game. So, whatever. I just hate people taking buzzwords and just saying, well, they have this and now they can finally meet the standards. And I'm like, you don't even know what the standards are, who ratified them, because video games don't have standards. They just adhere to other people's stuff.
Trying to explain that nothing has ever been ratified is, I just stopped saying it, because it's like, dude, you're not listening.
The ESRB is the first thing ever ratified by the video game industry, and one of the few.
So,
one of the few. I think there's 3 other things that have been ratified by the video game industry by themselves. Everything else, they take on everybody else's stuff. IEEE, all that. They just copy and paste. They don't have their own standards.
Yeah. So there's that.
Let me ask you guys, since we getting this 64, what game did y'all want?
Mystical Ninja.
I know you want it.
You troublemakers. Or mischief makers.
Yeah.
Non-Japanese folk.
Yeah.
If there was a way to do it, which I don't think there is now, but if there was a way to do it, give me GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. But they're probably not going to do that.
Well, there may be
if it
a
was
way
a
to get Perfect Dark
on there.
There may be a way to get Perfect Dark, since Banjo-Kazooie is popping.
If Nintendo spent that check, they could make it happen if they wanted to.
if they wanted to.
How much you want? How much y'all want to bet that it'll be in the second rollout?
It'll be in the third rollout. Man.
If I will say this, if that one, if they do bring Perfect Dark, I'm pretty sure Conker's coming too. Because
Conker has to come.
Yeah.
And do
Especially-
slots and racing.
Especially after Xbox messed it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it definitely has to come.
Now, if there was something that I really would like that,
Gemini.
No, actually, Extreme G. Extreme G. Extreme G.
Well, you gotta go talk to
Extreme G
the
1 and 2.
owners of the copyright for that.
Yeah. But that's the one that I would probably want to come if there was a way to get if it was a perfect world and we didn't have to worry about copyright and trying to find out where the license is and who got it now and all that. That's what I would probably want. I would love to get the rare stuff, but outside of Donkey Kong, you're probably not getting it.
Are we getting Diddy?
Diddy Kong Racing?
We'll probably get that. We'll probably get that.
So.
But
yeah,
like I said, outside of the DK stuff, like the other stuff that Rare worked on, that's over at Microsoft now, we're probably not getting it.
I want Gauntlet. I can
get behind that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. To be completely honest, I like the N64 version of Gauntlet better than I like the other versions. Actually, I don't know why. I think it's because it was so different, and the music to me was better on the N64 than it was on the Dreamcast and the PlayStation version of Gauntlet Legends. I just thought
PlayStation version was the worst version of that game.
The N64 had a really unique synthesizer too. That's one of those things. That's a really unique piece of hardware. The way that it modulated sounds. So and of course Factor 5 were wizards with it. They built it. So they did a lot of stuff in their games that made sound pretty much the best thing I've heard on that platform. So yeah, if somebody decided to make a pet project N64 game to go back and try to build a cart, you could probably make some pretty high quality stuff, especially with musics and all the other stuff on there, where you could literally compress whatever MP3 you want in there and weave it in and out as a sound object, which means that it's not just that one file playing. You can have multiple files playing in different audio streams and different parts of a scene. So as you go to this area over here and you interact with this polygon, this part of a sound plays. That I thought that was key to how it worked with like Ocarina of Time and other games like that too, where they had basically audio that played in steps as you moved along.
Especially in that Fire Temple.
The final battle with Ganon, just a lot of that stuff worked really well.
So other than that, though, I would probably only want the music for Tusk from Kalinske 2. I don't want the game.
We're gonna keep rolling with that.
I don't want the game. I just want his music.
So KI Gold, just the soundtrack.
Just the soundtrack. No, not the game. Just the soundtrack.
We'll get them working on that.
I mean, since they didn't want to use it in the KI game, I'm like, since they were too busy to use his real music, they're gonna bring in Tusk but not use the actual music.
Look, they could not go and get the lads back in the studio so they could re-record those chants. So they're just gonna not have that for you because they don't want to give you that old audio. It's too low quality. We can't re-release that.
Now, one thing I'm surprised I didn't see either, unless I missed it. Granted, we're kind of sort of getting it with Superstar, the Mario Party games, because these were the best Mario parties.
Should have been like.
But if they
1 through 3,
but if you can use the N64 controller with it, it's almost the same.
Yeah. Well, no one, they're not going to tell you can use it. You're just going to mess around one day, and you're going to be able to use it. Like they didn't tell anybody you could use the GameCube controller with Mario Kart 8, and I was just messing around. Lo and behold,
it works.
You can.
Yeah.
I'm just at this point. I'm just waiting for them to drop the hammer and just say, you know what? If you were a Wii U owner and you bought games on Virtual Console, regardless of whether you have Nintendo Switch Online or not, hey, these games magically show up for you because you bought them on Virtual Console. Boom, here you go. So
Hey.
now,
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do
man,
that.
if they did it though, man, that'd be that.
If Iwata was
Obviously,
still here,
it'd be a database nightmare, but
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. There's no way.
True.
if Iwata was still here, it would happen. He did it with the 3DS. You can
Yeah,
do it
fine.
with the Wii U.
fine, it can be done. It's
It
just
can be done. It's just it'll be. I would not want to come into work that day.
Call out sick.
I would call
That's-
out sick.
that's
Call
not
out
something
sick for the
you.
week.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's still one game from the Wii U and the 3DS that I'm surprised is not on the Switch is Push Mode. That's
Yeah.
one easy game I think would transfer pretty well to the Switch.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
push mode
Shoot.
is one of those hidden gems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll get it all back eventually. I think with this new online infrastructure for Nintendo, I think they found something they can stick with, and they can keep building, and that can transfer over, and you can definitely
It's their
have
version of
It's
Netflix.
exactly. So I mean, as much as people complain about the price, I was looking at it the other day as they were complaining about this expansion pack, and it's like let's say you pay what $60 for PSN,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that's annual, and you get what 2 random ass games a month, and that's about it. So I mean, you're not necessarily getting anything extravagant for $60.
Let's not forget, a little earlier this year, Microsoft tried to sneak and charge you $120
Yeah.
a year.
Right.
But it's gonna
That
go
was a
up if it
thing.
don't go away.
Yeah.
so I
it's
mean,
gonna go up.
yeah. So I mean, at this
People don't
point,
understand how much server costs, how much servers actually run. They don't
right?
understand that the maintenance fees on them things can go anywhere from
Yes.
1,000 to.
It ain't free, people.
No.
It ain't free. Okay.
They
Right.
don't understand
Not
that.
free.
That's not like Microsoft gonna make you pay for it because they're not gonna keep footing that bill, that extra bill. They're
Right.
not gonna keep footing it.
Yeah.
Nintendo couldn't either. Sony couldn't either. They all had to
No.
start charging you.
Mhm.
So I don't understand where that
My
came
PC
from.
doesn't charge me.
But you
Come
pay
on
for your
now.
internet every month.
Right. Come on now.
I think, and here's I think what the misconception is when it comes down to online play for different games. But people don't understand. Yeah, you're playing on that company's server, but you paid for the game, so essentially, you paid to play it online. It wasn't a free baked-in thing. You just think it's free because there's no extra charge for it.
Right.
Whereas
And
with
these systems-
the home consoles, you're paying for their access to the internet.
Right, because I mean, honestly, you're gonna have to pay them because I mean, with PC, let's keep it a buck. Majority of people are not buying PC for gaming, so
No.
you're gonna have a PC. So that's more of like an extra thing. This is a dedicated home console. So yes, you're gonna have to pay for them to incentivize the online. They're gonna try to entice you with the games they give you a month. They're trying to give you like reward points and all this extra stuff. So they're trying to give you a reason to pay for it because they know they have to pay for it. So
Right.
it's just that's why you get away
And
with
it's
it
not
with
cheap.
PC.
And
Exactly.
it's not cheap. So this ain't something that at some point you should expect it to pay for something at some
Right.
point.
I just find it really odd that how can I say this? I don't want to say PC gamers because PC gamers don't really care what console gamers are doing.
Right.
They're too busy
Mhm.
gaming on their PC.
Yeah.
But those that want to use their preferred platform to look down on other people's platform, why would you brag about playing games free online when the entire infrastructure for everything that you play on, if you understood the platform that you play your games on, you know that it's not free. So why would you think that two or three other different platform holders who that have to build their own infrastructure to connect all these things? Because unlike a PC, when you plug a Switch up to the internet or Xbox up to the internet, it's going out to the wild blue yonder, and it's not just a regular computer. It has its own operating system and its own services and stuff. So all of that has to be managed. Who's going to build all that? Who's going to pay for all that? Like Microsoft isn't doing that. They're out here selling stuff with licenses to other people that own PCs already. So you got to build all that to make sure all your little systems on the chip or whatever interact with each other. That is infrastructure, and you got to pay for the back end and the front end. So it's like you got to pay Akamai, you got to pay you got to pay Netflix if you got Netflix on these consoles. You got to pay for all these little last end connections to make sure the the person that lives in Canada can't tell that they live in Canada.
Right.
And when they
right.
connect, it's their nearest neighbor gets them a response as fast as possible, and that you gotta pay for that. And that's a subscription that every company nearby where that, so Nintendo of Canada or Microsoft of Canada has to pay for that CDN in that area to make sure that connection is. And that's just talking about getting content to you. That's not even talking about where it's stored. Like all this stuff costs money. And if you're a PC gamer and you don't understand that, after years and years of having to pay for MMOs and subscriptions and whatnot, and don't pretend that MMOs still don't cost.
Oh yeah.
And now online is free on PC. Well, I've been a PC gamer for a very long time. It's not cheap.
Nope.
Let's say EverQuest wasn't free.
No. and you subscribe for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're spending a quick $200-$300 a year, real quick. It is not. I mean, well, a month really. If you get enough games lined up. So coming from that environment and then saying, oh well, y'all should get everything for free, doesn't make any sense. You're just proving how ignorant you are because you don't even understand. You don't even understand how games used to cost on your platform.
Oh yeah.
So why would you even do? That's just the weirdest. I really think some of these people don't even really play PC games like they say they do. I think they just want to point out other people and then try to say, oh well, you're blah blah blah. And I'm like, hold on, let me log on to Steam. You ain't playing that.
Well, you see most of them, they'll get the games for benchmark videos to make money off of YouTube, and then they'll get refunded the game back. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, when it comes down to the PC crowd or any fanboy crowd whatsoever, it's just a matter of let me say I can do this and I can do that. And I ask anybody the same question: if it's really bothering you that much, how much research have you put into it to see how it functions? Of why you're crying about it, and see if you're not doing enough. Because honestly, if I was to sit here and tell you, kind of like when you were on what was it, Weapon Wheel, you were trying to break it down, and they were like, no, it's my way because it makes common sense to me this way, or makes sense to me this way. I don't want to look at it another way. So they just ignored it. They just cursed you out and just left it alone. So it was just like. I mean, if you're not going to do the research, and that lets me know you don't care, so I'm not even going to make myself to argue with you about it.
Well, and I will continue to push back because one-on-one it's an issue. So like one-on-one, they're like and they're waiting for other people to butt in. So I was like, okay, well that just lets me know that's my cue right there. Oh, okay, got you. Got you. Well, if you got to wait for everybody else to jump in and try to laugh it off, like it's not even.
So
social gaming syndrome.
Yep.
And we say all that to say this. Please support Project Eve because if y'all don't, Nintendo gonna swipe it up in 2 years. Y'all really gonna get mad. So just support Project Eve before we have to hear y'all complain about it in 2 years when Eve shows up in Smash.
They're gonna treat this.
You're looking at the person that's gonna buy that game. I'm the only person.
I'm gonna buy that game too. I'm getting it's so close to it. But you're gonna have this is gonna be the same situation of Persona and Shin Megami Tensei. That's exactly what it's going to be. Oh, this isn't Bayonetta, so I'm not getting it.
But you complain. But you're complaining to Kamiya about why Bayonetta 3 can't be on anything else.
Y'all didn't buy it. Y'all had a chance. Y'all had a chance on 2 platforms. Y'all didn't buy it. And then it came out on PC. Yeah, they threw you a bone. Hey, it's on PC also. Y'all didn't buy it on PC.
And on top of that, when it came on PC, it was cheaper than it was anywhere else.
Yeah. Yep. Because didn't it come bundled with Vanquish, or was it separate?
At first it was by itself. Then it came bundled with Vanquish.
Okay, yeah.
So you had no excuse.
None.
And in both those situations, it was the cheapest it had ever been.
Yep.
Because even with the Wii U, if you want to consider that the cheaper version with the Wii U, you got it for $30. Considering that you purchased it with Bayonetta 2, so both of them together was $60.
Yeah, basically. So. Yeah, y'all, please show some love to that. That being said, I will say Kamiya dead wrong for making me believe that was Astral Chain 2. And that's just where I'm going to leave it at. Don't forget, October 5th, Smash Brothers. Some of y'all going to be right and some of y'all going to be pissed. I'm going to be grabbing popcorn.
I got a
So-
feeling there's gonna be a lot of people hot with this announcement.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna be
My
mad.
source told me
Yeah.
it was, and I don't think y'all can be happy with this after my source told me what my source told me.
My sources already said everybody's gonna be pissed off, so there's no point to worry about it.
I'm really hoping that the last character is Sakurai. I just hope Sakurai puts himself.
That'll
in
be
the game.
awesome.
I really hope it's him.
That'll be awesome. I will say this though: if the last character is not Master Chief or some other type of Microsoft property, Conquer or whatever, then expect to see all the rare games on N64 Virtual Console. Because there is some reason why Microsoft is being extremely chummy with Nintendo, and they are not talking about it. So
even
whatever
Rare tweeted
it is,
it out. Yeah. Even Rare tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we have a game on Virtual Console. Yeah. So something's happening for sure.
Well, Jeff was Gemini. So that being said, people, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thankful to everybody in the chat. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to share us out. Let folks know that we pretty much here every Sunday at 7 p.m. So there's that. All right. So Andre, anything you want to predict in the future coming out and pimp out?
Well, since I was wrong about the Direct, Alan Wake is going to be coming to the Switch. That's it.
Well, you heard it here first. All right, Sandstorm, what you got? Anything you want to pimp out?
Can't hear you?
I don't think you can hear me. Sandstorm. Okay,
like he's staring off into space.
It really is.
I think it's
All right. He might be
audio
froze.
issues.
He probably got froze. Okay. All right, Vicky. Anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, sure. Stop by Fangirl Review on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays around 7:30 p.m. Mondays I crochet, Tuesdays is tier list Tuesday, and Wednesday is wine Wednesday, and I do whatever the heck I want. So stop on by. It's a good time.
Yep, and make sure you get your champagne. All right, Sandstorm. Anything you want to pimp out?
The next week, or I guess this week, because I guess it's Sunday, we'll be doing more Diablo 2 gameplay. That game is so good. I keep standing by it. Other than that, I don't think we got anything. PC Elitist head, sneaking his way back into some Twitter feeds. I feel like that man goes like 12 feet under and then just like sits in his mama's house in the basement as like, I'll just hold this and wait until they think I'm gone.
I'm sorry.
That's like a whole versus spy thing with on PC, bro.
And then he shows up and I'm like, gosh, this guy again? How many times you gonna take this beating, old man?
Oh well, could be worse. All right, Jack.
We still on construction right now. So it's still little works as far as the channel goes. I agree with Ray. Vicky exudes chaotic energy.
Yes.
And then also I'm here to predict as well that My Mystical Ninja will pop up on the next round of 64 games. But got a feeling it may be exclusive to the Japan crowd, so I might have to actually open up a Japan account to do it. Yeah, just because
Got my
Konami.
Japan account on deck.
Just because it's Konami. Just because it's Konami. Konami just. I don't know.
Yeah, Konami is special. I mean, they wanted to make Chico machines, so they are special. All right, Shadow.
Rick and Havoc as usual on Twitter. The channel will do whatever it's gonna do at some point, and I definitely have to do a reaction to the Nintendo Directs, so bear with me, and then something will come out, I guess, at some point. That's about it. It's random, but my channel's always random anyway. So you'll see a video, you'll be like, "Oh, he's streaming. Oh, he's that."
Well,
yeah. That's how it works. So deal with it, and we'll see you when we see you.
All right. As for me, check out the fresh takes from this morning. What if episode 7 with Vicky, and then we had a fresh take for the Star Wars Visions anthology with Sandstorm. So check those out. They're on the channel. I'm gonna try to do some live streaming a little bit next week. Just don't know what right now. I may try to live stream from Craftopia. That one I got downloaded on my Xbox, so I just need to mess around with it a little bit, and we'll probably do some live stream of that. Other than that, we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Oh wait, I got one more thing.
Okay.
Tomorrow, the 27th, is the last day to vote for me, Professor White,
Oh, yeah.
on the Game Hers Awards.
Okay.
Under content creation category for top creative streamer, I do crochet on stream. So
I voted.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get more creative than that.
yes, and
It's
just so
not
you
the
know, it's
crocheting itself.
one
It's
vote.
what was crocheted.
We ain't talking about that.
Yeah.
It's one vote per email. So if you have multiple emails,
She's not saying cheat. She just saying,
Just saying, look, if you stuff the ballot,
Use what
nobody's watching.
yeah, use what you got.
Right.
Use what you got.
I'll look over here.
exactly.
Y'all do remember, y'all do go by and check out and vote, please. Show some love as always. Once again, thank you guys. We will see you guys again next Sunday. Hopefully nothing crazy happens, but we'll see you guys next
It
Sunday.
will.
Peace
It
out,
will.
peoples.
Peace.
Peace.